Hey everyone, this is Akia from December's Divine. I'm here to bring you guys a karmic reading, okay? I felt it was necessary to do this reading. I've been doing quite a few readings in terms of New Earth and in terms of the Great Divide, Revelations 2020, etc. So I feel it's homeostasis. It's keeping things in balance by doing this karmic reading, because we need to know how they are dealing with these energies. Okay, the same way we feel these energies, they experience these energies. Okay, now I'm not so pinpoint focused on the karmic in relations to the divine masculine, but I do have to go into that perspective because a lot of my collective are on that part of their journey where they do need to know answers, and there are still many divine connections, divine unions that are coming into play here. So I'm going to touch mainly on how the karmics are dealing with this energy shift going into 2020, as well as in relation to this separation energy and these revelations that are going to be prevalent in the new year. Also, we're going to get into what's not being said by the karmic, okay? So remember, this reading may not resonate with every karmic situation, and at this point it really does not matter. We're just going into this energy to get insight on the situation, so that we can be prepared for what is happening in the energy. So guys, two very interesting cards that we got here. Okay, we have Island, Solitude, and Ghost. Immediately for me, I just in my head get New Earth right away in my mind. How this great division is all about separating the 3D from the 5D, and how low vibrational energies are going to be left to iron out their karma and to be of like-minded vibrations. And it will feel like a ghost town, okay? Because all of the high vibing energies will be gone. Now, in terms of just in general, as the karmic situation in regards to the divine masculine or the divine collective, a lot of karmics are in solitude. They are taking time to think, reevaluate, devise a new plan, a lot of karmics realize that a lot of their manipulation and control is being exposed. Okay, so those are the two cards that we got for the karmic. Okay, also I do feel as though there could definitely be some more manipulation going on. There's going to be a rise in the need for control especially by very low vibrational karmics. They are not prepared to end these cycles, and karma is not really a factor for certain karmics. So as you can see in this picture here, this is a picture of Toni Morrison, the writer. She did specialize in writing about some horrific stories, some haunting stories. In this picture, you see that there is milk spilled or some sort of substance spilled. Some figure drowning in the milk that's already spilled. We see a knife here, possibly like a voodoo doll. We see the crows flying overhead. Okay, so intuitively, I feel like there's still some manipulation going on. There was a story that Toni Morrison wrote, particularly called, I think, Beloved, about a baby or a child that had a tragic death that came back to haunt people. So, you know, there could be some sort of manipulation going on with the child here in terms of the karmics, but yeah, definitely some manipulation still going on. That's the bottom of the deck, okay, for the literary oracle. The other two cards, aside from Solitude, that we got for the karmics, bottom of the deck energy, was purified, no, rain, purification, and Milky Way perspective. Okay, so I feel as though the karmics are taking some time out to regroup, to devise a new plan in terms of New Earth and the Great Divide, separating the 3D from the 5D. These low vibrational beings, entities, karmics, are aware that their deeds and their trickery, manipulation, black magic, all of these things done in the dark are being revealed, and there's a great purification happening. A great purification that is happening in 2020. And the dirty deeds are being wrung out to dry, and there's something new being brought into the picture, a new perspective, Milky Way, okay? Something massive, and these karmics are aware of this as well. Galactic ancestors stepping in, cosmic justice, the big event, New Earth. And there's going to be a separation, and that's going to leave these low vibrational energy entities and energies in solitude. Now, in terms of the divine masculine or the divine collective, the karmic situation, there are a lot of dirty deeds being aired out right now, and the karmics, the divine masculine, everyone in this situation is gaining a new perspective, because the veil is being removed in terms of New Earth. There's an eclipse that's coming, okay, next month, that in 2020, that is going to really be a huge moment, okay? for the earth, for the collective. And it's going to be two sides. There's going to be a shakeup for the karmics, okay? And there's going to be blessings for the divine collective and the high vibing energies. This is very clear, okay? The karmics understand what is happening, they feel it. And before things get better with these revelations, there are going to be some explosions. There's going to be some anger, rage. But ultimately, everyone involved is gaining a new perspective. And the karmics are in solitude. They're in solitude, okay? So that's what's going on with the karmics. In terms of the guide for the ghost card, this is about memories, okay? Memories, what haunts you, unfinished business. So these karmics are feeling haunted by their dark, manipulative, and evil deeds. And there's some unfinished business. So I'm hoping that the karmics are going to take some solitude to really realize their karma and try to heal it. But I think that there's unfinished business, and there's just a regrouping that's happening right now for these karmics. Yeah, they're haunted by a lot of memories, because there is a huge upheaval that's happening, and it's volcanic, okay? It's a huge upheaval, and we're going to get into what exactly is happening with this energy, okay, for the karmics. Solitude. Okay. Kind of want to read what that says for the karmics. My lighting is horrible, so if I read a little slow, it's because I can't see, guys. So, okay, so island. Let's see. Although an island like this can be a metaphor for isolation and desolation, the thriving tree proves that even in the harshest environment, there is life. We can see the tree's spider-like roots spreading out along the rocks, seeking nourishment within from the moist soil. The sense of peace and solitude depicted in this image provides nourishment for the soul. The karmics need to take time to really reevaluate their soul and their choices. Now more than ever. it's like now or never. Okay? And it's very vital. But a lot of these karmics are just taking time to nourish their roots in more darkness to come back swinging because they have unfinished business. You need to take some time for solitude, preferably in silence. Spend the morning, afternoon, or even the entire day by yourself, completely unplanned and unstructured. The bombardment of your senses by the noise and intensity of society leaves you on alert far more than necessary. The vibrations of millions of people, worry and fear throughout the world can impinge upon you and greatly affect you. If you do not honor your need to pull back from time to time, when you have passed through any self-constructed barriers to enjoying the quiet peace of solitude, it will serve you best if you simply observe the thoughts and emotions that have passed through you, especially those that cause shortness of breath or quickening heartbeat. Remember that isolation is experienced not by choice, but out of fear. When you decide to spend time with yourself in solitude, however, you are choosing to once again find and connect with who you truly are. Coming out with the Ghost card, it looks as if many karmics are accepting who they are. There's unfinished business. Some karmics are really seething and kind of sitting in their memories, sitting in their anger, sitting in their rage, and instead of purifying themselves from the very real energy that is prevalent because things are being revealed, the divine collective is gaining a new perspective on these dark deeds. Many of the karmics are not taking the solitude to reevaluate what's been revealed. They're taking the solitude to regroup and refuel and come back stronger. The same way we as a collective are trying to raise our vibrations for this great shift, the karmics are raising their stakes. In solitude, with unfinished business, and haunted memories, and there's a lot of resentment, and there's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of envy and rage. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into this energy so that we can know what is truly going on. Okay, we're just gonna kind of get into recent, past, and current energy, how the karmics feel about themselves, what's their major conflict, how they feel about the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and what's not being said. Okay. All knowing source, divine spirit, archangels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. Please provide your presence and your protection and your love around me as I try to bring forth truthful, clear, and precise messages to allow my collective to be mindful of what is going on with the karmics. Allow me to bring forward the most truthful, clear messages that the collective needs to know, to be mindful in their journey. And thank you very much. Okay, what is the recent past to current energies of these karmics during this really intense shift? This really intense shift. And this energy going into 2020, as well as these revelations and the new perspective that's being gained about what's been done in the dark. The Lovers, the Four of Swords. This Karmics could be a Gemini, Libra. Recent past to current, please, for the Karmics. The World. Bottom of the deck. Recent past to current. We have the Tower. Okay. Mars energy. Karmics could be Aries or Scorpio. There's been a Tower moment, okay? Remember, these energies could have be the past, currently happening, or will be happening in the future. But we have the Tower here, so there has been some sort of divine intervention, some sort of shocking revelation, upheaval, enlightenment, okay? I do believe this is in terms of all of the manipulation and control and attacks on people and their free will. There has been revelations in terms of third-party situation. Okay, I'm getting heavily air energy, earth energy here. The Karmics are in a state of rest right now because divine intervention is here, divine timing is here. Okay, the Tower is here. The masks are being stripped away. The ego is being torn down. Selfishness and greed and cruelty is being exposed. They're being judged, okay, for this black magic. It's the end of betrayal, and it's the end of deceit. These Karmics need to surrender, and they know it. And this is the test, okay? right here, right now, the end of 2019 going into 2020. This is the test, okay? This is the major test. And I pray, because there's light in every single soul, and I pray that this is the catalyst that's going to allow some of these karmics to really change, to do the work that's needed to address their karma, to change their ways, to raise their vibration. But this is the test. I mean, either you're going up or you're going down. I mean, there's no other choice here, okay? And we're going to see the difference between dark and really, really dark. Because some of these karmics do not care about karma. They feel like they have gone beyond the point of karma, and they are where they want to be, 3D, okay? And some love the thrill of dwelling in that realm, in that darkness. That is their power. That's what they choose, okay? But these karmics are going through heartbreak, okay? There is grief happening, okay? Divine intervention is here, and these karmics are uberly aware of it, extremely aware of it. They're also aware that karma is their fate, and these karmics are very insecure at this time, and it's like either extreme. Some are really impulsive, acting out, and some are very insecure and are taking some time, okay? Solitude, and just kind of sitting in their emotions, and some are very impulsive and volatile. Because there is no longer a fog covering their dark deeds. The light has been shown, okay? So, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of immature emotions, some, impulsive actions. Yeah, going on in the home, whether this is families or particular karmic situation with the relationship or the divine masculine. There's definitely some immaturity, some impulsiveness, some insecurities going on, some very, very angry, nasty arguments, words going on, just a lot of disorganization and impatience. But there is quite a bit of determination. We have the Tower, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Page of Cups, we have the Nine of Wands with the Four of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. So despite divine intervention, there is still someone trying to hang on to a relationship or to some sort of home situation here, or commitment. Someone is very determined with the Nine of Wands here, but there's the Tower has fell down here. Divine intervention is here. Masks are being removed, but there is still a determination here to hang on there's obvious deception going on here with the Seven of Swords. It's in reverse, but with the Tower here, the Knight of Swords in reverse, and the Page of Cups in reverse, there's just someone very determined, okay, to deny this Tower and to get over on with their deception, and to continue to have hope toward Four of Wands, Nine of Wands. Okay, with the Seven of Swords, there's deception, but someone wants to ignore the Tower, ignore divine intervention, continue to move forward, and despite the obvious upheaval here, the Karmics are wanting to take responsibility, wanting to still heal this situation, very determined. Nine of Wands, Four of Wands, okay? Someone still wants to heal a commitment in a home situation, but there is very much still some deceit going on here with Seven of Swords. Could be a fire sign, okay? Sag or Aries. There's definitely some immature communication, some impulsive actions, insecurities going on, and there's been a Tower. So I'm not sure what is left to this situation to be determined about, but someone is determined to move past this deceit and betrayal, past this impulsive, immature communication, and unstable emotions. Ignore the Tower, okay? Very strongly, the karma could be Aries, Pisces, fire, air, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, okay? There's a lot of confusion going on with the Karmics right now. A lot of impulsive actions, hanging on, anger, rage, rageful communication, deceit, and still hanging on despite the Tower. Grasping at straws despite the situation, okay? There's a stalemate here going on with the Karmics, and there's depression, and there's mental instability. And there's confusion. And these Karmics are not trusting their instincts. They're not listening to their inner self as to addressing their shadow selves, because the light is being shown on their actions, and they still do not want to heal or address their depression, their pain. Aquarius energy here, Leo energy here, Libra energy here. But yeah, I mean, this energy shift is bringing out the true nature of some of these karmics. Very selfish, egotistical. This is depression. This is these karmics fighting with themselves and being in denial, confusion, despair, lack of faith, pure negativity. Okay, and Tower, confusion. Okay, so that is really the recent past to current, kind of like a backstory, but the main energy for what the karmics are dealing with right now is they're aware of this shift, okay, in the divine collective. We have the Lovers here, Gemini energy. We have the Four of Swords, Libra energy, and we have the World, which is completion, and the fixed signs, okay? Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. Okay, so technically the world is 10, but it's actually 20 breaking down to a 2, which is preparing for action and conflicts. Six represents the Lovers, a choice, a dare, the karmics, okay, are focused and have been focused on the divine counterparts, the twin flames, etc. And their actions are being revealed, their black magic, their control, their manipulation, in terms of everything that is being exposed their ultimate goal was to create disharmony and imbalance, disconnection and conflict with the connection between the divine lovers there is going to be a period of meditation for the karmics, Four of Swords, okay, where they're going to be regrouping and thinking of ways to complete something. Okay? We're going to clarify this. But when the Lover's card shows up, it's about reevaluating your choices in terms of what path to take, whether that's in a partnership or a personal choice. Okay? Now, obviously, a lot of these karmics need to reevaluate everything that they have done in terms of the divine counterparts, the spiritual connections that they've interfered with, and how they are going to have to deal with their karma. Okay, the astrological correspondence to the world is Saturn, and Saturn is all about karma and lessons. Okay, these karmics are in deep contemplation, and they are taking a time out. Okay, because there has been major resentment, major frustration, major blocks. There's so much being revealed right now, and people are going to be able to see these karmics for exactly the low vibrational entities that they are. And the devil has a plan as well. So we need to be mindful of what these karmics are planning to do next. Okay, but one thing for sure, they are definitely dealing with their karma. They are needing to address their karma, because we are going beyond a completion very soon. We're going beyond that. We're talking about the Great Separation. We're talking about the Great Divide. We're talking about the big event. We're talking about New Earth. Okay, so not addressing your karma right now is beyond a cycle being ended. It's the end of things as we know it. Okay? So let's see what time we got there. Okay, let's just clarify this energy. I'm gonna use a different deck. Let's clarify this energy, and then we're gonna get into how the karmics feel about themselves in a conflict, major conflict. Okay, clarify the Lovers, please. Clarify the Lovers for the karmic. Their recent past occurring energy. One on the Lovers, please. One on the Lovers. The Moon. Wow. To clarify the Lovers, we have the Moon. Okay. You have a vicious dog here. The Moon in reverse. So there's been so much deception, so much vengefulness. The attack of the divine spiritual connections that these karmics have focused on for so long. The black magic, the pure intent to destroy many souls' free will, okay? The deception and the attacks on the divine feminine and the divine masculine, okay? There's going to be an illumination, okay? Yeah. There's a path that's leading to truth. And with the moon card in reverse here, this is about confusion. Yeah. Confusion and despair, disbelief, frustration and happiness. This is the karmic's focus, because these karmics are aware. Some of them are getting readings done. Some of them are just psychics. Some of them are going to psychics. Some of them are misusing their spirituality. And they know that some of their, whether they're with her in a karmic relationship with the divine masculine or not, either way, their only focus for so long, which is manipulation and control. Remember, karmics can be family members or whoever against a divine connection, but their focus has been to destroy this divine connection. They've been hyper-focused on the divine feminine. They've been manipulating the divine masculine. Many of the divine masculines are heading straight to union with the divine feminine. Okay, some divine contracts have been severed, meaning there's no divinity between certain divine masculines and divine feminines. Some divine masculines have had their divinity stripped away. Some don't have a direct spiritual connection to the divine feminine in terms of being connected to their energy. You can never sever the connection between the twin flames, but there can be a disconnect, okay, in the energy. So certain divine masculines do not have access to their divine feminines any longer, okay? That doesn't mean the connection will ever go. It means they don't have access to their divine feminines. And that can manifest in many ways, but there are definite divine masculines and divine feminines that are going into union, okay, in 2020. And this is specifically to raise the vibrations of the earth, because things are all ready to go for new earth. And the great separation is happening. So 5D and above, directly to new earth. In between, they're being shipped off to raise their vibrations. 3D energies, low vibrational energies, law souls, entities, they're staying into 3D. So there are definitely going to be divine masculine and divine feminine unions, many unions happening in 2020. And this is going to destroy the karmics. It's going to leave them in confusion. It's going to leave them in despair, disbelief, frustration, probably some anger, rage, and this is just going to, cause an uproar and more dark magic, dark acts. But soon, these entities and karmics will be left to their own devices, okay? Those who continue to vibrate low, they'll be left on old earth to continue their karma and to continue vibing in that energy until this lifetime is ended and they can repeat again and hopefully have the opportunity to transmute their karma. But yeah, there's going to be some confusion because there's going to be unions taking place with divine masculines and divine feminines. And these karmics are going to be very vengeful and angry. Yeah, bottom of the deck. Magician. So there's going to be a lot of karmics still trying to manifest, still trying to manipulate and cause issues. But at this point, all of the entities that they try to get to come up against the divine counterparts, it's going to turn on them. The entities are going to turn right back on them. Okay, divine beings don't even have to do reversals or anything of that nature. You're protected. Especially coming into this energy now in 2020 is just useless for these karmics, but they are still going to be in this energy. Okay, Magician. Yep, still in the energy of the Magician. Three of Wands, blockages, delays, trying to create delays and taking risks to stop the unions that are going to be coming about in 2020 because of their despair and disbelief that none of their darkness could overtake the light. Yeah, this is definite Virgo, Gemini, Aries, Leo energy here. Yeah, so definitely karmics are going to be feeling inferior with the Seven of Wands, weak, judged, but they're still going to be so stuck in the darkness that they're still going to be manipulating, okay? Trying to manipulate the spiritual connections. Clarify the Four of Swords and the karmics taking time out in solitude. Unfinished business. Clarify the Four of Swords, please. Clarify the Four of Swords. Three of Discs. Taurian and Capricorn energy. Yeah, this solitude, this meditation that the karmics are going to be in is not to try to vibe high or to address their karma. It's to compete, is to get rest, to regroup, to energize themselves enough to create more disharmony, more interference, and to create more blocks and compete with the divine feminine, and to cause more deception and try to create more blocks on the divine masculine. Wow, yeah. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Discs and the Hierophant in reverse. So yeah, their goal is to take time out and come back to interfere, compete, to cause more interference, and to wage more war, okay? If we are focused on vibing high and getting vibrations high enough, trying to touch as many lives as we can before the separation, to get people to vibe high, they're going to be doing the exact opposite. And bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Discs in reverse, the Hierophant in reverse, okay? Yeah. And we have the Hanged Man here for the Karmic. So this is more about, you know, sacrifices and yeah, these Karmics are willing to do anything. Yeah, that's Virgo energy here with the 8 of Discs in reverse. We have the Hierophant in reverse, so that's, to me, my misuse of spirituality. This is corruption. This is secret societies. This is corruption within family. This is, yeah, frustration, setbacks. This is obsession. These Karmics are taking the solitude to battle up for war in this time of separation, in this time of starseeds spreading the word about New Earth and about revelations. So these lower vibrational entities and demonic entities are battling up to steal light, to interfere, to stop unions. They are obsessive in their attempts to create setbacks, to be corrupt. Hierophant in reverse, Taurian energy. Yeah. This solitude is mainly to rebel against the love vibration. Disobedience, hypocrisy, just pure corruption, okay? And they're gaining a new perspective, and they are willing to sacrifice, okay? Hanged Man. Whatever it takes to gain control, okay, of the abundance and of the love and the divine way of being. So that is why these Karmics are taking solitude, because they are against fulfillment. They are against happiness, abundance, and they are trying to stop this vibration, okay, of love and of healing. They want to keep this whole reptilian agenda going, and they're willing to do whatever it takes, okay? So this is what the solitude is about. Unfinished business. Okay. Wow. And lastly, let's get a card on this this world card here. This karma. Can I get one on the world card, please? How do the Karmics feel about this karma? What are they trying to stop? Ace of Swords. Wow. The Karmic's going to take action, okay, against the truth. They want to take action against the truth. And they want to take action against this completion that is causing the separation, okay, against this truth that's being revealed, against this purification, okay, that's happening. And the Karmics want victory in the spiritual war. And they want victory on a lower scale over the divine masculine, okay? Over the divine counterparts. It's about control, light versus dark. They want fulfillment and completion and knowing that they could outsmart, outbattle, complete their unfinished business in terms of stopping these unions. And they definitely want to prevent the truth from coming out in terms of their acts. The Karmics Knight of Swords, Seven of Discs, Taurian energy, air energy, Aries energy. The Karmics want to, they're angry. They feel powerless, but they are very much focused. They have a lot to say. And Seven of Pentacles. They want the victory. They want the victory from their investment, all of their energy that they put into manipulation and control and blocking. They want control, period. They want to prevent the divine unions at all costs in terms of this energy in 2020, the revelations. They're focused on continuing to create blocks and creating confusion. But the truth is coming out, okay? 2020 vision, revelations. It's the end of the cycle for these karmics. Although they are going within, they're not trying to transmute or to heal their karma at all or address it. They are preparing to compete, to fight this spiritual war, to continue to take away people's free will, to do their dark deeds, and they just do not understand the magnitude of their actions, that the truth is here, divine justice is here. There is going to be a victory, a completion of this low vibing demonic energy. They are going to sit in their anger and resentment, okay? There is going to be impulsiveness, confusion. And there's going to be really hell to pay. It's just a lot of these karmics are just being taken over, okay, by darkness. And 10 of Pentacles in reverse. I mean, burden, loss, loneliness, and more judgment on top of more judgment, okay? I mean, that is the outcome. I mean, that is what is happening now, leading into 2020, end of cycle, truth, burdens, loss, 10 of Pentacles in reverse, blocks, and utter chaos, Knight of Swords, more anger, more stalking, more impulsive, hasty, cutting words, just confusion, and an end of a cycle. Wow. How does the Karmic feel about themselves? How do the Karmics feel about themselves? How do the Karmics feel about themselves? Death. How do the Karmics feel about themselves? How does the Karmics feel about themselves? How does the Karmics feel about themselves? Major inner conflict, okay? Major inner conflict. 5 of Wands reversed. Self-doubt. a time of negotiation, avoidance, okay? Leo energy. The karmics feel about themselves. Karmics could be a Gemini, Scorpio, or a Virgo. 8 of Pentacles. And 9 of Swords. And the Death card. Okay, so the karmics are feeling as if they need to transform. Okay, some karmics could be pregnant. The karmics are trying to perfect something, okay? Or the karmics are having some very sleepless nights. They are being attacked by entities that they are trying to send toward innocent people. They are being attacked by their own darkness. They can't sleep. They are being judged. They're dealing with karma. They are dealing with their conscience, whatever's left of it. Yeah. Many karmics are really focused, concentrating on devising a new plan, okay? I don't see this as the karmics are transforming or truly creating or surrendering to a real transformation here. Hopefully some are, but I see this as a transition into a new plan. They are shedding one way and adapting to another way of being. The karmics are being very much focused on a plan, despite the anxiety of this time period, despite the anxiety of the new perspective that's being gained and the revelations. The karmics are working through their anxiety by focusing on how to change the game up, okay? How to find a new tactic for this war that we're in. That's how the karmics feel about themselves. Just want to get one card on this death card. This whole combination, clarify this combination on how the karmics feel about themselves. That's way too many. How does the karmics feel about themselves? What was that? King of Cups. To clarify, the 9 of Swords, Death card, and 8 of Pentacles, Virgo, Scorpio. Nine of Swords energy. We have the King of Cups and the Fool in reverse. So the Karmics feel about themselves is that they are working hard at devising a plan. Okay. In this Death card, there's an entity, a little entity, a small being that's trying to go back into the womb of this pregnant being here. And the larger being is stepping on the head of the smaller child being, saying that you cannot come back in because I'm ready to birth something new. Okay, it's a transformation. So I'm taking it as in terms of this whole revelation period, separation, there is anxiety about revelations coming about, and that there is a plan being devised to counteract that. But to bring it down further, I feel like there is karmics out there who are thinking that they can heal their anxiety by doing something in regards to a pregnancy or a child. Someone's working hard at getting pregnant, or by something to do with new life, or final stages. Yeah. Karmics feel like they're devising some sort of plan, revolving around a masculine energy. King of Cups, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. They feel like they have a plan to prevent balance. Okay, the King of Cups is all about balance. The King of Cups is all about balance, about generosity, strength, and coupled with the Fool, Aries or Aquarian energy in reverse, the Karmics feel that they can relieve their anxiety by focusing hard at either getting pregnant or starting something new, or somehow creating uncertainty within the divine collective, or creating uncertainty or insecurities with a divine masculine. The Karmics are just really focused on throwing something off balance during this time period to take the focus off of their exposure. Wow. Okay. Yeah. They feel good about themselves because they feel like they could keep their abundance or keep things going in their favor as long as they can keep the love vibration from moving forward, or to keep imbalances going. That's why they're taking the solitude out, to prepare for war, to prepare for a battle, Their only goal is to create aggression, self-doubt in the collective, defeat, and loss of control. And that can be at a collective level or just with the divine masculine, keeping the divine masculine off balance, insecure, a false sense of happiness, by creating self-doubt, loss of control. Yeah, it's a spiritual war, and the karmics are just hell-bent on keeping the vibrations low. Keeping the vibrations low. They feel like they're up for the task. Wow. Okay. That's how they feel about themselves. How does the karmic feel about the collective as a whole? The karmics feel that the collective as a whole is determined, hopeful, persevering, courageous. Yeah, they feel that the collective is taking their rightful place. Absolution is here. The karmics feel that the collective is finally getting their justice. They feel as though the collective is finally gaining their freedom and their renewal with these revelations, and where this energy is ultimately taking them. Yeah, and they feel like the collective is headed in the direction of an enthusiastic new beginning, travel, cosmic travel, mind travel, the exploration of a whole new world, a whole new earth. Yeah, they're aware of what's happening. And the karmics know that they're getting their judgment because of the persistence and the tenacity of those who want to raise the vibrations of the earth, the healers, the starseeds, the ascended masters, that they are getting their judgment. And 2020, revelations, new beginnings. That's how they feel about the collective. They also feel that the collective is winning. Abundance, prosperity, happiness. How does the karmics feel about the divine masculine? How does the karmics feel about the divine masculine? They feel that the divine masculine is gaining a new perspective, stepping out on their own at the end of a cycle, 10 of Wands, that the divine masculine wants to be relieved of the oppression and the burden and the stress. Yep. Let's clarify that. Clarify how the karmic feels about the divine masculine. Clarify how the karmic feels about the divine masculine. That the divine masculine is working hard, reevaluating. Seven of Pentacles. Investing in their growth to gain the reward of a new beginning. They feel that the divine masculine may be in denial, or that they're moving past this tower onto healing. Okay, divine masculine or the karmic could be Sagittarius or Aries or Scorpio. Okay, but they feel that the divine masculine is at the end of a burden, moving past oppression toward freedom, independence, and healing, moving past the tower and gaining perspective and toward a new beginning. How does the karmic feel about the divine feminine? How does the karmic feel about the divine feminine? Did we get a flipper? Chariot. How does the karmic feel about the divine feminine? The karmic feels that the divine feminine is the King of Swords. But the divine feminine is very cutthroat, very determined, very intellectual. That the divine feminine is the epitome of balance. But the divine feminine is determined and is stubborn in their attempts to cut out the low vibrational energies. Okay? And as a collective, the divine feminine is in control and will stop at nothing to move past this conflict that the karmics have created in this community, in this divine collective, in the world, and that the divine feminine is not weak, is reliable, patient, organized in their rally against these karmics and against the black magic, the envy, the anger, all of the low vibrational energies that have come against the divine collective. And that the divine feminine is very confident, is gaining the victory, very victorious over the petty energies that are beneath them. The karmic feels as though the divine feminine is the catalyst and the motivation, okay, to move past the aggression and the challenges, and that there's no stopping the forward movement, okay, that is happening, okay, with the shift. There's no stopping it. And the karmic believes that the divine feminine is very self-assured, and victory is here. Clarify this energy, please. How the karmic feels about the divine feminine. Clarify this energy, how the karmic feels about the divine feminine. Clarify this energy, how the karmic feels that the divine feminine is cutting through all of the obstacles and moving forward. Chariot. And to clarify it, yeah, despite the attempts to destroy, despite the attempts to create brokenness, incompletion, misalignment, okay, with their black magic and stripping away of free will, attacks on the counterparts, attacks on innocent beings, the attempts at keeping the vibrations of the earth low, that these they feel that the divine feminine overcame the attacks, okay? And they feel as though the divine feminine is the reason for their judgment, for their karma. For their blockages. Okay, I mean, this is how they feel about the divine feminine. Okay, they blame the divine feminine for their despair, for their lack. But despite all of their attempts, okay, to create conflict, the divine feminine, King of Swords, Chariot, has cut through it, moved forward, and moving the collective out of this feeling of entrapment. 8 of Swords, okay, and truth and victory is still the end result. No more isolation, imprisonment, disappointment, okay, and dark deeds going on without all knowing eyes, okay, witnessing it. There's finally accountability for their actions, okay? Ace of Swords. Clarity, victory. These karmics are really inspired by the divine feminine, okay? And lastly, how does what's not being said by the karmic, their deepest depths, what's not being said by the karmic that could change the game if we knew? That they're very insecure. Wow. One more. What's not being said by the karmic that could change the game if we knew? What's not being said by the karmic? The deepest parts of your soul that would change the game if we knew. Okay, what's not being said by the karmic is that they're very insecure. They are confused. They're careless, negligent. They don't know which way to go, which path to take. They've lost their innocence. They have no faith. And there is really a lot of trickery going on. These karmics are really focused on the innocent, okay? Knight of Swords in reverse. Yes, they're very, very impulsive during this period. There is a lot of anger, a lot of insecurity going on with these karmics. Yeah, Knight of Swords is in reverse. This is a lot of spying. This is like a step above the Page of Swords. They're weak, okay? They're impatient, they're disorganized. They are making really impulsive decisions. Something to do with a child that's really, really prevalent, okay? Something going on with a child. There are some real deep insecurities here. I just get like Joker energy, like real deep mental illness going on here. Tower, okay? These karmics know that this is the end. These karmics know that divine intervention is stepping in, and they really don't care. They're just getting more and more agitated, and a lot of these karmics are just they're battling for war, and they are planning some sort of retaliation. This could be on a collective level with more rises in darkness and impulsive acts toward youth. More attacks. Anything to test the faith of the world. Now, on a lower, less collective level, this is just a karmic that is very impulsive, very imbalanced, very childish, very insecure. Someone could be using a child in some way. Very immature communication, stalking, spying. On a collective level, there definitely could be, with this whole shift happening and people being aware, things coming to light. This could be on the level of the world, leaders being spied on. A lot of stuff is happening here in terms of the karmics, but what's not being said is that there's a lot of instability going on here. There are forces that are revving up for battle. The Tower is here because this is divine intervention. This is divine justice 2020, but what it's not being said by the karmics is that they're revving up for battle as well. And this is a warning to be mindful. Seven of Cups, there's going to be an upheaval in emotions, unstable emotions, and unstable communication, a lot of spying, a lot of interference with the youth, a lot of revelations about leaders, a lot of truths, a lot of mask being removed, ego. Seven of Cups is all about illusions, unrealistic desires. Okay. What's not being said by the karmic is that be prepared for overwhelm. Okay. Lots of temptations. On a lower level, this is just karmics creating some sort of retaliation, something to do with a child, definitely a lot of temptations, and creating indecision, of course, more black magic, of course, more manipulation and control on a collective level, just control of the masses. This is like war, okay? To keep it quite simple. But love wins. This is a time of cosmic justice, divine justice. We are divinely protected, and that's what's not being said by the karmics. This solitude is because there's unfinished business. Okay. They are karmics that are kind of very resentful, sitting in this anger. Seething at this love vibration, okay, that's revving up for New Earth. And we're gaining new perspective, and things are being revealed, and they are taking solitude to gain a new perspective as well. And it's not pretty. Okay, what's not being said is that there is major impulsive actions happening, spying. Be careful of our youth. Be careful of the emotions of everyone, especially the children, okay, because there are going to be some shocking revelations. This is a spiritual war, and that's what's not being said by the karmics. Wow. Let's get a warning for the karmics. What's a good deck to use? Okay, let's just get a few warning advice cards for the karmic. Oh, that's too many. Advice for the karmics.